We're back at you in gloves off, and today we have a great guest coming in from Chicago. It's Rachael Blaze, and we're going to be touching base on breast implant illness. Rachael, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great.
Well, how are you doing over there in Chicago? How's Chicago treating you?
Oh, Chicago is just as beautiful as ever, and it's super hot right now.
Well, it's just the same in Laredo. We have the same ordeal. You know, we're running 100, 105, 109 every day. So it's
yeah. You guys, you're in a very hot area.
Correct.
I wouldn't want to be a.
Right. I was going to tell you. Let's touch base because we've been friends for a while. We've been talking back and forth, and I know that you've been involved in the martial arts and the combative sports. How'd you get involved? How'd you start?
Well, some years ago, I did ring. I was a ring girl, and
Okay.
I did that a couple of times, and decided that it was not for me. And the cool thing was, I met a lot of fighters, and they talked about their issues that they had with their fight promotions, whether the pay wasn't good or their opponent wasn't matched correctly, even down to where they would do a little bit of training before the fight. They would complain about that as well, or would request for something.
Right.
So hence, that's why I created Unity Fighters First Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that not only helps children, which I created Blaze Kids,
Right.
but it also helps fighters, and I was doing some advocacy and some consulting, marketing, and things like that.
Well, you know, and I know that you've been involved actually in trying to promote all the events over there because I've seen you in some when we were over there a couple of years back. Which one of the combative sports is your favorite, if you wanted to say that?
Well, considering the fact that I am basically in a cage getting ready to fight my breast implant, I like MMA.
Okay. Why do you like MMA? Tell me. Is that what's going on with the MMA scene in Chicago and Illinois area?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
What's so special about difference from the MMA scene in Chicago, Illinois, in that area, in comparison to the other parts of the nation? What's going on?
The professionalism, just the city in itself, and the attraction. There's several fight promotions out here who've been for a very long time, multiple years, and have perfected it.
Okay.
Compared to some of the other organizations out there.
Okay. I know that there's a lot more fights in MMA in up north than there is actually here in Texas, in South Texas. We'll get one every so often, about maybe once every 2 years, and it's pretty.
You know,
difficult.
I think that there is some music playing in the background, and I cannot hear your question.
No music on our side. I'm going to raise my volume just a little bit.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't know what that was. Maybe I was driving through with something. I'm in the middle of cornfield.
Oh, okay. Well, let me put it to you this way. The difference in Texas in compared to Illinois and Indiana and those, you all have a lot more MMA fights every so often, while we don't have it here.
There's usually a fight promotion. Well, we used to have them. I mean, every week there was a fight promotion having fights. But it's kind of calmed down now since we've been commissioned, and they've got a huge amount of commission rules that were not expected, and it's very costly to have a show here in Illinois.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hopefully
there are not a lot of amateur fighting shows here. You're going to get more of the pro MMA.
Okay. That's what we get over here more. We see a lot more pros than anything else. But let's change the topic a bit. Let's touch base on what is going on what is going on with the illness? What's going on? What do you tell other women that have implants? This is what you look for.
Well, for me, I could not link the two together. I mean, mine are 10 years old. I've had them for a period of, obviously, this is my 10th year of having them. But I didn't realize that soon after I had them implanted into my body, that I was already having small symptoms. I mean, obviously, I'm going to think I have the flu, or maybe I over exfoliated on my skin and it was extra dry. At that time, I mean, I was 117 pounds, 10% body fat. I was doing a show and wasn't even thinking about, could my breast implants possibly be making me sick? I was reassured by my surgeon that they were FDA approved and that saline was the best option for me, the safest option. And I had already heard about silicone implants, so that was not an option for me. That was not something I wanted.
Right.
So I was not, and I thought I was pretty educated because I did my research, but there was not as much information as there is today. And there's a lot of research. Obviously, there are 43,000 women on this Facebook page, all suffering from the same issues that I have. So it wasn't up until a year and a half ago, after being severely ill for the last 6-7 years, that I just never could put two and two together. 25 specialists later, multiple drugs later, things were not getting better. And then one day a woman had hit me up on Facebook and had said, and just basically asked me, do you have breast implants? Well, it's super private. I don't discuss my personal life or anything like that on Facebook.
Right.
So with her being a female, I obliged to say, well, yes, I do have implants. And she said, well, you should probably check out this breast implant illness group. And I said, okay, but that's not the issue. That's not why I'm sick, because I was in denial. And so I did join the group, Healing, I believe it's Breast Implant Illness and Healing by Nicole Dorada.
Okay.
There is about 45,000 women on there, and it is continuously growing every day. Did my research, listened to all the other ladies that had them in their chest, and heard the recovery stories of how they improved like 3,000% compared to where they were. I mean, dark circles under their eyes, eyes look tired and puffy, your body is full of inflammation. When these women are explanting, which I'm praying that I can get mine done,
Right.
things start to normalize and return back to the original state. However, it does take a long time to heal from something so traumatic as this. I mean, you're putting a toxic chemical soup that we were not informed what the ingredients were of this particular, of any of those breast implants. And so with that being said, you should not have silicone of any kind in your body. I've learned that saline solution has an expiration date, and it is not 10 years, and it is not 5 years. When you get to your IV in the hospital, there is an expiration on the saline solution that they use to give you an IV. So it's just interesting. And when you read the ingredients and learn that they are carcinogenic, they can cause cancer, neurological problems, organs shutting down, things like that. And for those who are thinking of implanting, think about this. You're putting two foreign bags above your heart and your lungs, which is your vital organ. And I never really thought at that time, I never thought about that. But now it makes sense, because obviously your heart pumps blood. It's going to, pump everything that's in your body, basically your silicone toxicity, and that's really bad. If you think about it, you're putting a foreign object into your body. When I was younger, I didn't know any better, but I wanted to get into modeling, and the modeling agency was like, you basically have to proportional your breath. I don't see you getting many gigs because you're not proportional.
And so I opted to have them done. Well, now you can do fat transfer. You can do all kinds of different things to your boobies now.
Right.
Whereas you couldn't do that before.
If you had a young girl or a woman that comes to you and says, you know what, Rachel, I'm thinking about getting breast augmentation, what would you suggest to them to do? Because that's something that goes on every day, different decisions, and what would you say?
I Right now, I would tell anyone not to put them in your body and to learn to appreciate the shape and the size of your breast. They were born with you that way, and they should stay that way. And to do diligence of your research. And I'll tell you what, there's some videos out there of what doctors, what surgeons who specialize in explants for putting out there on social media and shows you what they are pulling out of these women's chests. Saline solution, growth mold, and fungal bacterial infections. You got silicone that basically bursts and you don't even know that it has burst in your body. You have to pay I think it's like 10 or 8 to $10,000 for an MRI just to detect that. And even then, an MRI cannot detect that you have a rupture. No ultrasound, no mammogram. Because silicone is so thick within these breast implants, it's very hard to detect a rupture.
Right.
So
What?
it is,
Go ahead.
honestly, it costs about $8,000 to put them in your chest. If I go and tally up all of the expenses from being sick, you're talking probably well over $200,000 worth medical. I may be lowballing it because I've had a sinus surgery. I've never had health issues prior to this other than a little bit of asthma and a little bit of eczema. That is it. And maybe a slight problem with some environmental allergies, but nothing like I have now. Now I'm not able to eat foods like I used to. I am allergic to food. So I have probably about 10 different foods that I can stomach without getting sick.
Okay. Um,
So, and in the long run, is it worth it? Your $8,000 boob job is now just turned into 200 plus in medical bills and medical expenses, not to mention the body aches, the muscle aches, the bedridden you get, the chronic fatigue, the thyroid problems, the adrenal issues, eye infections, sinus infections. The list goes on. Some women I was diagnosed with lupus. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Nobody in my family has any of these issues.
Understood. Understood. What is a percentage? Does every woman that gets breast implants, do they go through the illness or?
Well, here's the thing. There will be some women who will say, I have my breast implants and I'm not sick.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't mean that you're not sick. That doesn't mean that you won't get sick. That just means that you have very small, slight symptoms at that moment. And unfortunately, everyone will get sick from breast implants. And and the numbers are growing. And what they're finding scientifically, when they're taking these breast implants out of the woman's body, they're doing pathology tests. They are doing high metal tests. Platinum does not belong in your body. That is a metal that you would make wedding rings or jewelry out of. That is not something that belongs in your body. It's not easily digestible in the body or easily gotten rid of. So
Okay.
women are suffering high toxicity, not to mention multiple vitamin deficiencies because these metals that are in our bodies are absorbing or blocking the ability to absorb vitamins. Hence, obviously, hair loss, infection, your immune system is down, you can't fight off things as well. So it's not a good scenario.
Understood. Understood. let me tell you this. Is there any federal help?
I'm sorry.
Is there any help federally for women that are suffering this illness?
Are you asking if there's information on breast implant?
No. Is there any monetary help if you do not have the money to
Okay.
get rid? Can you hear me?
You sound like you're. Yep, I can hear you now.
What I'm saying is there any help federally for women that are suffering breast implant
No,
illness?
there is not. And if you do a little research, you'll be able to tell that over in Europe, those women were suffering breast implant illness as well. And I believe, I can't recall which one it was, but in Europe, they told those breast implant companies, you're paying for them to be removed. And they were taken off the market.
So in other words, it's all breast implants, period. All breast, is that what's going on?
Oh, yeah. If you do your history on breast implants, they have had this issue for a long time. It just now, women are starting to be wiser and smarter and can figure things out and find out what the ingredients are. Unfortunately, a lot of women were told that they're lifetime guarantee, they're safe, you have no issues. Oh, this can't be your breast implants. You're just getting older. Oh, you must be having problems at home. Doctors do not understand breast implant illness at this particular time. I have found one of my 25 specialists that says, oh, absolutely, yes, you can get sick from your breast implant. Out of 25 specialists, one can say that.
What are you advocating now? How are we going to get this word out for women besides social media? How are we going to reach out? Because I'm, number one, thank you for coming out and telling your story and pointing this out to others that are wishing to get breast augmentation. But what can we do? How can we help? How can we start educating the public? What are your options on that?
Well, there is a custom design T-shirt by Grunt Style, which is one of my very good friends, and they designed a T-shirt that's customary to the cause.
Okay.
You can purchase a T-shirt on my website, which is www.rachelblaze.com. And people always misspell Rachel, so it's Racheal.
Okay.
And there's the entire bio and story there. There's other links to other shows I've been on. And there's links to the website for you to get more information on breast implant illness. The shirts are $30. They both come in male and female sizes. The campaign goes on for 2 weeks. If we do really well and we meet at least 100 shirt minimum, then the campaign will keep going. The goal for the 2 weeks is 500 shirts sold. Okay.
And you can buy them directly from Grunt, or you have to go through you?
You can go through gruntstyle.com, but they just redid their website, and it's a little difficult to find the custom shirts. So you're going to have to either go off of the links that I provided or go to my website. Okay. Otherwise, you're not directly going to get to it right away.
Okay, cool. We'll just put your website up for people to see what we're doing and what you're doing, and get folks out there and start mobilizing people, because this is a serious issue, because we have way too many women that probably have this illness going on right now, and they're trying to figure out why. So, number one, we want to thank you for stepping up and expressing yourself, and let's outreach, and whatever you need, we'll help you out. Okay, folks.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's definitely a growing epidemic, and I hate to use that word, but unfortunately, more and more women are living with being sick and not being able to connect the dots, and that is the sad part, because we're losing women. They are dying.
No, it is sad.
Those that don't catch it in enough time are losing their life to this.
No. I understand. I understand. And prayers go out to all those women out there that are suffering. And It's just something that men do not. They understand that there's dangers and so on and so forth, but we really don't understand what goes on. Understand? So, and people need to know that. We have to have a little bit more understanding, and we as a
Yeah.
society also have to understand that we are who we are. When people say you have to look this way, you know what? You're overweight when you're telling a kid, oh, you're overweight, you're skinny, you don't have look at your nose and so on and so forth. We have to stop that, and we have to start educating our kids with that. And I blame society as a whole for bullying us into corners. You understand what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
I
There's so much emphasis on perfection with the woman's body and very large breasts. And it is unfortunate. It is very unfortunate that the world has deemed that the perfect woman is the most voluptuous breast and the largest butt. Well, I'll tell you what, men and women are both getting implants. Butt implants, breast implants, calf implants, chest implants. And if you don't wake up and realize that this plastic toxic bag that you're putting into your body is causing an ailment, and some ailments you can't turn around. You can't make certain diseases or illnesses go away. Once they're there, they're there.
no, you're absolutely correct. And that's what happens. They want to fix something and end up ruining something else, and that should be.
Exactly. Exactly. My doctors were basically trying to make me comfortable. I was a pincushion. I got prescribed every single drug I could possibly think of. I have a whole list. I mean, they were prescribing me Narcos, and I'm sorry. I don't like taking any type of pills or medication. The pain that that I endure on a daily basis, I do not take pain pills. I don't even take a Tylenol. I bear through it. My family hears me screaming in bed when I'm trying to sleep, and I'm crying because I'm in so much pain. Let me explain how that works. It feels like somebody is pulling the muscle, the tissues off of your bones and crushing your bones at the same time. It is the most excruciating pain I have ever felt. I would rather have 5 kids than go through that pain.
For you, and what is your next step? Right now, your next step is what?
Actually, I have chosen 2 different doctors. I am actually going to see one for the second time to decide if this is the right one for me to go to, or if the one in California is the best one. And honestly, I'm favoring the one in California. The next step, obviously, is to raise enough funds so that I can go and have this surgery. I can get my life back. I can get my health back. I can start living a quality of life, and my daughter can have her mother back.
Understood.
At 15 years old, she should not have to be required to take care of her mom when she can't take care of herself on certain days.
No, you're absolutely correct. And and God bless you. We're with you and on the step of the way. And I'll be buying one of your shirts, so you get that one today. Later on today, I'll go on there and help the cause. And folks, if you guys are out there, it's a great shirt. We don't have a picture of it up here somewhere or another, but there it is. And let's all do our part. I mean, I know the folks in Grunt, they do awesome shirts. It's
Yeah, it's pretty badass. I was not expecting it to look the way it was, and they put a lot of work and a lot of detail into it, and they did an exceptionally over and beyond, like, just I was wowed. I cried when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. That's the shirt.
that's awesome. No, it's awesome. We'll get that going. You have mine, and I wish you the best in your surgery and the outcome. But keep us at breast, and keep us.
I will I will definitely keep everyone posted. Obviously, I'm going to do before pictures so that everyone can see.
Okay.
Oh, God, Lord, help me. Because some days I look like a zombie and I look really scary. I scare myself, honestly. because I don't recognize the woman I was before implants. And I will be taking pictures afterward and giving details of obviously healing and recovering after surgery. So yes, that is my plan so that everyone can see and keep updated if they like.
And if you don't mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a picture of your shirt and a link to our podcast Facebook
Absolutely.
page. Or if you want to do that yourself, you can do so. Please do that. And,
Absolutely. That would be great.
we'll get that going and we'll keep pushing forward. And I know that you're heading to a doctor's appointment. Good luck with that. And next time we're in Chicago, we need to get together. And we have a good group of Savate players out there that would like to see you come in and touch base. In fact,
Would love it.
Savate in Chicago, we have more women doing Savate in Chicago than anywhere else in the United States. So we're proud of our girls over there.
That's awesome. I love it.
They're over there in Paladine, so not too
I
far.
love it.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you
Stay
guys
strong.
having me on.
Stay strong and keep us posted on everything that's going on. Okay? God bless you.
Okay.
And
God bless you.
and how about a word to the girls out there that are thinking about this? One last chance. Tell them.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, tell something to the girls out there that are thinking about this, about augmentation. Again, tell them exactly.
Take my story and learn from it. Learn to accept and love your breasts the way they are, irregardless to what somebody might say, or a modeling
Amen.
agency, or a manager. Accept them for what they are and embrace who they are, because it's a part of you, and there's no reason to go and have to enhance yourself for anything or anyone in this world.
Exactly right. Well, Blaze, huge hugs. We'll talk to you soon. And folks out there,
Thank you so much.
this is a story that needs to touch everybody's heart, because we all have that one friend, a sister, a family member that might be going through this illness and she doesn't know it. So let's help out. And for you folks out there this weekend, you be safe. And 4th of July is coming soon. So until next time, peace. We'll see you back.